Hello, lovely people.
Hello.
Hi. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. It's been a month. Stuff's happened.
Been a month since what?
No, I mean like stuff's
right.
happened. Like when you say, God, you know, I really badly injured my back and paralysed my legs.
It has been a month since Jessica was actually able to like leave the house, walk,
function properly.
yeah, it's been a lot for me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean it's hard for you too, but it was a lot for me.
No. You've been an absolute star, stellar MVP. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Americans say it. I think.
MVP.
Yeah, she's been excellent. She's been looking after me and Rupert
And the dogs.
and the dogs and the house single-handedly.
Jessica has repeatedly said, let's just ship the dogs off, it's fine. Give them to our friends for the night. I'm like, we do not get rid of part of the family.
Sometimes I think it is okay to have your dogs be looked after overnight for one night.
No.
By friends.
Look, you were not even the ones dealing with toilet trouble, incessant need to eat, incessant need to scratch. We also traipsed in mud through our house, which had just been cleaned. I mean, I don't know how many times I've mopped this floor. I thought people like, you watch out with a baby, you get a mess everywhere. It's like,
The baby's fine. I don't know what people are talking about.
yeah.
Trouble. Those dogs though. Whoa.
Anywthis video's not about
It's not what
dogs
this video
or
is about
babies.
at all.
It's not just a video for us to rant about our very privileged, lovely little family that we have.
No.
And Jessica wants to ship off half of it.
Oh my God. Celebration is the first Ask Your Lesbian Mums where we're actually mums.
Yay! Now we're qualified.
We are. We filmed an Ask Your Lesbian Mums where you were pregnant. We filmed an Ask Your Lesbian Mums where you were secretly pregnant with Jamie and Shava. Jesus.
Oh dear, Bubby. Ruben went down a bit far. Rupert's just playing over there.
You're not even 4 months old yet. Could you just dial back on the adventure? Lord. So what we're going to do is quick fire because it's almost bedtime.
Yeah, it's really hard to find
So
time
normally we
to
ramble
film.
in these videos,
let's go.
but we're going to try not to do that.
We're going to try and keep it brief.
We're going to give you some lovely, wholesome mum advice for those of you who need some mumming. If you've been in public as a family, how have strangers treated you now with a baby?
People said how amazing she looks for having a baby so young. So
How thin I am for having just given birth.
yeah, I mean,
And I'm like,
I don't chirp in saying she didn't have to carry that child for 9 months, birth it, and stay up all night feeding it from her breasts. I just say, yeah, she does look really good. But inside, I'm thinking like.
and I'm also like, I'm not going to say anything because
Yeah, she
I'm
doesn't,
not
even
gonna...
say, she doesn't even say anything. She doesn't say, well, actually, no, it's my
I'm
wife.
sorry. Do you want me to say something so they stare at your stomach? Nothing is wrong with your stomach, but I don't think people should judge other people's bodies, and I'm not going to invite someone to judge your body. I don't want them judging mine.
I don't mind. And actually, it's still true. You do look really good. You still have a young baby. Like,
your body, by the way, is very sexy.
but you know, this was
every size.
this was someone telling us like when he was like 6 weeks old. You know, he's now 17 weeks old.
He is, indeed. When this video goes out, he's 18 weeks old.
Oh my gosh, he's growing up so fast.
Oh. Question: lesbian mothers, do I really need to come out? I don't think it should be a big deal.
If you think it's not really a big deal and should you actually have to come out, then that probably means that you're hopefully in quite a good place in terms of your sexuality and the people around you. Because if you think it's not a big deal, then you obviously know how it's going to be received as probably a positive one. But your whole life you do actually have to come out all the time.
Yeah, I personally I don't have a coming out story. I didn't have to sit everyone down and have like a mother, father, friends, I'm a lesbian type of moment. However, do I have to come out semi-daily? Yes. Yes, I do. It's constant, especially now I have a baby.
Yeah.
When someone goes, oh, does he look like your husband? And
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
that's the thing, a reaction that you've had as well.
my wife, he looks like my wife.
Yeah, if I'm not with
I
her.
mean, also not helped by the fact my child does look a little Asian, and I don't. So then people are like, oh, he must look like your husband.
He just looks like
And
a
I'm
mini
like,
me, basically.
No.
Yeah. And they just like deliver this like really heavy thing and you're like, oh actually can you like bring it in and carry it upstairs for us? And they're like, oh, can't your husband do that? And it's like, no, I have a disabled wife. Also, that's just really assumptuous that my husband is strong and I have a husband and one he is stronger than
What if
me.
you had a disabled husband? No, you don't have to come out at all. It's entirely your own journey to have. One question that even your dear old lesbian mums are still trying to answer. Everything, basically everything. We're experts in nothing, but very warmly and lovingly supportive. Is how to balance creative pursuits, work life, and home life, especially when your home life is a 4-month-old baby. Good luck editing while a tiny, adorable human wants to play the game. It's just too cute to resist. Which is thankfully where the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare, comes in. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. Explore new skills, develop existing interests, and get lost in creativity. Today, I wanted to talk to you about the class Productivity for Artists, Organizing Yourself for Success by professional illustrator Brooke Glazier. This is actually a class that Claudia and I took together, although at separate times because, you know, organization. It was nice to be able to talk to her about it though, and to work together on putting tips like the Eisenhower matrix into use. Claude's been spending time recently connecting with her photography again and doing a lot more creative things that are her style rather than my frilly dress style that you'll find on my Instagram. I'm really proud of her, and the chapter Tips for Time Management was particularly helpful to her as someone who was on maternity leave and, you know, breastfeeding a baby, looking after Rupert, caring for me, and within her creative work. You can see Claudia's photos on her Instagram @cloudfoz, where she's just posted this photo. Go and leave a supportive comment. She won't even know that I've sent you because she never watches my videos. If you're interested in exploring your own creativity with the help of Skillshare, then you can sign up today by clicking the top link in my description. And freebie alert, the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so you can start exploring your creativity today. And after that, it's only around $10 a month. How do you know when you're actually ready to have a baby?
Yeah, I was gonna crack some joke about like your water's breaking and stuff, but
What? Yeah, okay.
But from our opinion, from our point of view, we also do say that you're never really ready.
Oh God, is that true?
We both felt like we needed to be like settled in our like home life, like in a home that we felt like comfortable having a baby brought back to. We needed to feel like safe, like financially, those sort of things.
I think
we were quite practical
the
about
advice,
it.
Yeah, the advice my cousin gave was have a baby when everywhere you go right now and everything you do wouldn't change.
Yeah.
You could just bring a baby to wherever you go. If you're currently spending your
If you're
days...
still going out like to bars, having lunch at nice restaurants, then traveling to like the Caribbean for romantic getaways and city breaks, and you're really enjoying that, then you're not ready to have a baby yet.
If you meet all your friends at clubs, you're not ready to have a baby. If you meet all your friends at brunch, yeah, you can have a baby.
Well, yeah, so that's a simplified version of it.
You'll be alright, hun. It's okay. What should I say to people to think I'm too ill to have a baby with my girlfriend? She's carrying.
I think this is an answer question for you, darling.
Oh, yeah, why was I staring at you? Much like in romantic relationships, from the outside, people who are only looking in can't see what it is what the interplay is. So I think that in a romantic relationship, it's very difficult for people to know what the give and take is. It's very obvious to see that like Claudia provides me with a lot physically, she helps me with a lot in a lot of ways, but then I also give you a lot back in a lot of ways that people don't see.
Like the last month, like yes, I've been practically like literally, I mean, running around the house, laundry, breakfast, nappy, milk, toilet help, assistance, bed changing, some more laundry, dog walk, picking up poo, cleaning a nappy, like it's
Maybe
literally
food.
making lunch again. It's like literally like it was like, and it's all these like, so surface level that's very observable, you know, I'm doing all these things, and it very much looks like, oh my God, Claudia does so much for Jessica, but I wouldn't be doing all those things so willingly if I wasn't getting all the like nurturing, emotional love and support back.
Like if I'm your emotional rock.
Yeah, in the same way that like, you know, you do it for the baby because they like look at you with this really cute little smile and babble, and like she was doing the same, so.
I was giving you a smile and a babble. Yeah, so then people can't see because they don't necessarily understand the parent-child dynamic. They think, oh, if you can't do this easily observable thing that I think all parents should be able to do, I don't understand what it is that you're giving. But there's a lot of other things that come with being a parent. We have this thing where we say that she understands his physical needs really, really well. So Claudia knows immediately as soon as he needs a nappy change, or she'll be like, oh, he's hungry. And I understand his social cues. So I'll be like, he needs me to sweep my arm up and down like this. And Claudia's like, how do you know that? That's really random, Jessica. Because that's just my specialist.
She's very good at knowing like
talent with him.
If I'm like, oh, I just feel really awful, and she's like, I think you have a headache. And then she just starts rubbing the exact bit that's hurting, and I'm like, how did you know that? It's like you got weird like Reiki powers or something.
Yeah. So we all have our own specialist skills and talents that we give to our relationships.
Sorry, I was
mean
just,
anything.
No, yeah, that's good.
Sorry.
I was just laughing because I'm like, this poor person is going to have to like somehow summarize that very long answer into something that they're just going to tell a complete stranger how they about how their feelings of becoming a mother.
Excuse me, that's an incredibly rude comment. How dare you? Do you understand what ableism is? Because you are a prime example.
There you go. That's your answer. Next.
There you go. How can I let the LGBTQ plus kids I'm tutoring in a Christian society know that I'm an ally in a subtle way? A subtle rainbow pin.
That's not that subtle, darling. Putting a rainbow pin on.
No, but not like the obvious flag kind.
Maybe not on your body. Maybe like your pencil case or something that you get out in the class.
That's true.
So it's not like a badge is very much like this an identity thing, isn't it? But if it's something you just own, like a pen. Because do you want to just do it? Because you just said subtle, so I just do it like that.
Using the word person in place of man or woman. That's always nice.
Yeah, probably just the language you use, I would say.
Yeah.
And how you refer to people.
I would say to Google inclusive language and look at how you can work at bringing that more into your speech. It's also really good because the more you use it, the more you influence people around you to also work it into their conversations. I mean, and also like you really annoy bigots. That's fun. I've ID'd as non-binary for a few years, but lately I'm wondering if I'm just a trans lady, but I'm really masculine, so I don't know. Good question.
I mean, I don't know how we can help on that one.
I think that the important mum advice here is that
would be that you don't know, so then that's
you
fine.
Don't have to know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay to not always be 100%
that's true.
on your identity.
That question's very loaded with labels. It's like you don't need to actually give yourself any of those terms if you don't feel you're aligned to any one of them. I know that's difficult to this day and age because everyone's like, what are your pronouns? What are your like, what's your sexual identity? What's your sexuality? It's very much like, that seems to be quite I don't know, it's not very privatized anymore, is it? People really want to know all this stuff about other people, and they feel like you should wear it with pride, which is great and should be celebrated, but also it should also be respected that not everyone wants to use labels.
It's also quite revealing if you're going through a process of discovery about yourself and you're kind of like, well, I don't actually want to...
Yeah, and then why should you have to disclose that you're going through a process?
Talk about that right now. I don't want to say. But in the same time, it's also really nice and inclusive that we do talk about it.
I would say maybe if you are being pressured to like answer someone on what is your thing, you could just stick with maybe what you have been if you still feel like that reflects who you are in some ways, and maybe just don't talk about the other bits unless you feel comfortable about it. And then, you know, if it changes in any way, then you then start talking about it more.
But yeah, it's perfectly fine to be moving throughout your life between different things, to not be fixed at any one point, to not ever be fixed even, to just constantly be in a state of flux if that's who you are. And also to say that you don't have to be one thing to be.
There might be not, I think what you're trying to say is there might be a term that doesn't exist to describe your identity currently. Because if you think about it, there's all these new terms, relatively new terms, that we are now using. There's going to be that, you know, just shows that there's probably loads more. It's just we haven't named them yet.
My God, there must be so many people who in the past would have aligned with terms that they just didn't have. And we now do have. And also it's important to say that just because you feel that you're quite masculine and that's holding you back from maybe allowing you to identify as female, don't feel that there's just any one way that you have to be a woman, because there isn't. You know, gender is a broad spectrum and you can be any way you want to be and be a label that fits with you. It's your personal thing. Don't let anyone else tell you what you are. How do I still make friends at university and not seem rude when I don't do stuff because of my disability? Oh, well.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't look at me. This was you for a while.
Yeah, it's a tough one, definitely. I think the important thing to realize is that you want to make friends that you can keep in the long term, or at least keep for whilst you're at university. So I tried really hard to make friends with a group of people who I thought were like amazing. They were really fun. They were really great to hang out with. Their social lives were really based around nighttime, and I just couldn't keep up with that. So whilst they were really great to hang out with in the moments I could catch them in the daytime, I missed out on their main socializing time, which was nighttime. So they were all incredibly bonded to each other, and I just grew further and further and further apart from them the further we got into university. So what I wish I'd done was, at the start, recognize that I needed to find a group of people who socialized in the daylight hours.
Join some societies that are like daytime stuff.
Yeah, who can at least, you can at least keep up with a little bit. Try and suggest activities that you know that you can do. Try and be the one who sets up your socializing, because that means that you get to plan where you go and what you do. So I suggested a lot of movie dates, because that involved sitting down. So there we are, family. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Ask Your Lesbian Mothers. And thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Remember, the first 1,000 subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so you can start exploring your creativity. I hope you have enjoyed it.
Sorry if we didn't answer your question.
Yeah, but please do make sure to go and follow us on Instagram at Jessie and Claude, where all of these questions came from, so that you can be sure to ask a question for the next video.
Yeah.
I hope you've also enjoyed Rupert in the background, if you could hear him.
I think they can hear him. He's quite
Oh,
audible.
can they? Oh, can you hear him? Oh, I'm glad.
And on that note, we shall leave you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.